Worst parts of great games. RoboCop Rogue City. This was a great game that did a lot of things right, like getting Peter Weller back to voice RoboCop, and choosing to match the tone and style of the original movie. And while it was a fairly short game, it was thoroughly enjoyable throughout the entirety. But that is not to say that it was perfect. This will contain spoilers, so if you haven't played RoboCop Rogue City, now would be the time to stop watching. So, at the end of the game, as you might guess, the actual story of the game is resolved. Not really a boss fight at this point, as it's a regular guy fighting RoboCop, and you can guess how that ends. But after this, you go back to the station and have some wrap-up conversations with a number of different NPCs. Only to have this end with you being called to yet another situation. Apparently, something bad is going down at OCP headquarters, as there's a subplot in the game with the old man that runs OCP secretly doing illegal experiments to try and come up with some manner of immortality. And after finding out the technology he wants will take many decades to actually develop, he basically decides to just go with what they've got so far, and he ends up in a cybernetic body of his own. But my issue with this is that it's not actually a new body. He's literally put in RoboCop 2, which you actually see earlier on in the game at an arms trade show that RoboCop needs to attend. And now the old man's brain is inside it, or his head, or something of his is inside it anyway. And it's just sort of disappointing that we're recreating the fight from the end of RoboCop 2, rather than have RoboCop fight some kind of new threat. As in this current situation, it kind of implies they didn't actually develop any new technology. It also seems very unlikely to me that the old man would actually want to be put in this kind of robotic body, as presumably he wanted to extend his life so he could keep running OCP. Not walk around like he's the next generation of Ed 209. And not only that, but this seems like a completely unnecessary boss fight. As stated before, we've already had a fairly satisfying conclusion to the actual story of the game. And sure, there wasn't really a boss fight associated with that ending, but there didn't necessarily need to be. And if a boss fight absolutely had to be here to be the last thing you do in the game, one would think something else would be better than recycling the robot body of RoboCop 2. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.